All right, Dan Schneider talks about the new Nickelodeon documentary, Quiet on Set. Yo, if y'all haven't seen this, bro, it's basically well, recently what happened is like Drake Bell got on the this documentary and he just gave his insight on what it was like working with not only Dan Schneider but other producers that were essaying him on like behind the scenes while he was on Nickelodeon. And yeah, I'm so confused on why Tebow. If y'all know Tebow, this is the guy from iCarly, the guy with the dreads, and he had like the donut stick. I think that's what he was known for, the donut stick thing. Yeah, but I'm really confused on why he's interviewing Dan Snyder like he's a news reporter or some sort of like. Hey, but the interview's an interview. We gotta hear what this guy's talking about.
Dan, how are you?
I'm okay. I'm okay. Um, I really appreciate you reaching out and giving me the opportunity to talk to you about what we saw over the last 2 nights.
I'm really glad you're here because I believe this is important.
For sure.
We've got a lot of things to unpack. But before I dive into my list of topics that I'd like to discuss, is there anything you'd like to start off with?
Absolutely. Watching over the past 2 nights was very difficult. Me facing my past behaviors, some of which are embarrassing and that I regret.
Very,
and
bro.
I definitely owe some people.
Very. Bro, when I was a kid, I would like. Okay, so all Nick Sider shows, like, the feet of girls were shown on my screen. Like, for iCarly, let's say they were doing, like, this little bit where, like, they had their feet dipped in spaghetti tacos or some shit like that. Like, that's the shit that he would do, like, with feet shit with girls. I never took it as anything, like, crazy because I was a kid, bro. Like, I didn't think much because, like, oh, shit, feet, huh, funny feet. But this nigga had, like, an actual fetish with his kids, bro. Like, kids he put on screen. Like, he loved feet that much. He was telling kids to, like, do weird shit with their feet. Like, another episode of iCarly where she puts her big toe in like the fucking what's it called, the shower shit, bro. Like that's crazy. This guy needs help, bro. And he looks hella old. Like this is crazy. He looks hella old. I remember him without the beard.
Pretty strong apology.
Let's talk about the massages.
Oh
Okay.
shit.
Watching the content yesterday, that was disturbing.
It was wrong. It was wrong that I ever put any.
Hold on, I'm so confused on why Debo from. Hold on, I gotta go back to make sure that's him. Hold on. Why is Debo from iCarly interviewing Dan Schneider? I'm so confused on that. Are they like this? Or I guess they I'm so confused on why Devo's interviewing Dan Schneider. If y'all don't know who Devo's the guy from iCarly with the donut stick thing. Yeah. That's crazy. He really asked Dan Schneider questions.
It was wrong.
Look how old he looks too, bro.
Put
What the
anybody in that
fuck?
position. It was the wrong thing to do. I'd never do it today. I'm embarrassed that I did it then. I apologize to anybody that I ever put in that situation. And even additionally, I apologize to the people who were walking around Video Village or wherever they happened, because there were lots of people there who witnessed it who also may have felt uncomfortable. So I owe them an apology as well.
Yeah. Dan, talk to me about the writer's room. From what I saw, not cool.
No. And I don't mean to cut you off, but if I can cut right to the chase, let me just say, no writer should ever feel uncomfortable in any writer's room, ever, period, the end, no excuses.
Okay.
Most TV writers, comedy writers have been in writers' rooms, and they are aware that a lot of times there are inappropriate jokes made and inappropriate topics come up. But the fact that I participated in that, especially when I was leading the room.
Yeah, that's okay, but you're working with kids, bro. Like, I was so little, and I was so naive to this. I never picked up on, like, because, bro, in the thing, he would, like, in his little shows, he'll give you, like, hints that he's a weirdo. Like, bro, I mentioned it already earlier in the video, like, bro, the fucking feet shit, shit he was doing, and, because, Victoria's had this little state, what's it called? I think it was called The Slap. They had, like, an actual slap.com, and, like, behind the scenes footage, and he would just be shitting on the cast, bro. Like, he'd be telling Victoria cast members, like, Psychowitz, the Psychowitz actor for Victoria's the teacher, he's telling him, like, yo, you did terrible. I don't know why you said those words, because that was not on the script. In front of everybody, like all the actors. So he's putting shame on the actor in front of everyone. That shit is just not right, bro. It's not good at all, bro. So I'm glad that he sees, like, now, like, that he's fucked up and that's not it. But I think he's taking care of himself. At least he slimmed down a lot and he got a little facial hair going. But this guy's sick, bro.
It embarrasses me. I shouldn't have done it. And I can tell you why it hurts really bad for me. I remember very clearly my early experiences, my first experiences in the entertainment business. I was green, I was scared, I was excited. It meant the world to me that I was getting those opportunities. And
So then why do that to kids, bro?
My first couple of experiences.
Why do that to kids? Like, come on, bro.
And the fact that I didn't pay that forward to every employee that walked through my door, it hurts my heart because I should have. And I wish I could go back and fix that. In the writer's room, there's no doubt that sometimes those jokes went beyond the pale, and I said things that went too far or made practical jokes that went too far, and that was wrong. And that was because, you know, I was an inexperienced producer. I was immature. Wouldn't happen today, but I'm just really sorry it happened.
Nah, that's crazy, bro. Is there a part 2 to this, bro? Because I want to watch this more. I want to see more insight on what he's on about, but there's got to be a part 2. Oh, there's 4 parts. Yeah, we can watch this.
Of success over 2 decades. Thousands of people have worked with you, for you. Okay. Let's speak directly to the people who did not.
Oh, okay.
I'd have a good experience with you.
Okay, I would like to speak to those people.
You've had a lot of success.
All right, this is part 2.
Decades. Thousands of people have worked with you, for you. Okay. Let's speak directly to the people who did not have a good experience with you.
Okay, I would like to speak to those people because I hate that anybody worked for me and didn't have a good time. You know me. You've been on my sets. Look, I've had some employees that have worked for me for 10 years, some more than 20 years, who would work with me again, but not everybody. There's still a significant number that didn't have a great time working for me, so my batting average isn't nearly high enough in that area. And the way they wouldn't get the best of me is that I would let the pressure of doing 40 or even more episodes per year, I would let that pressure get to me.
All right, bro. So how did you doing 40 episodes like equal? I'm gonna essay kids. I'm gonna like do weird shit with kids. It's not a good excuse, bro. That's not a good excuse to just mistreat your actors on set, especially kids, bro. Because you had a 40 episode mark that you had to meet by the company. It was stressing you out. Come on, bro.
Never do.
Were there specific things that you were doing?
Sure. I would snap at people sometimes. Mm-hmm. I would be snarky when I could have given them a nicer answer. I would not give people the time that they needed. I would be in too big a hurry to get on to the next thing I had to do. And watching that show, it made me, there were so many times I wanted to pick up a phone and call some of those people and say, I'm so sorry and let's talk about it. And I wish you'd had a better time, and I wish I could have shown you a better experience.
Yeah. Now, you've written hundreds of episodes. Thousands of jokes have been told.
Yeah.
But currently, where we are, some people think that some of those jokes are inappropriate for children. Mm-hmm. What do you think of that?
All these jokes that you're speaking of, that the show covered over the past 2 nights, every one of those jokes was written for a kid audience because kids thought they were funny and only funny. Okay?
Okay, they were funny. They were funny. I'm going to say this again. They were funny, but it is not like... I said this again. I said this before earlier in the video. Bro, the feet thing, it was funny, but like as I got older, I peeped like, yo, that's really like a fetish. That's got to be a fetish, bro. Like, Miranda Cosgrove's just her feet in spaghetti tacos. Her feet is in the shower head. Like, just weird shit. Like, bro, like, come on, bro. Like, that's just weird.
Now we have some adults looking back at them 20 years later through their lens.
Bro, it don't even look like Tebow's buying it, bro. Like, look at Tebow. He doesn't look like he's buying this shit.
And
Tebow's like, what is this nigga talking about?
How anyone feels. Let's cut those jokes out of the show. Just like I would have done 20 years ago or 25 years ago. I cut it. I want my shows to be popular. I want everyone to like it. The more people who like the shows, the happier I am.
Yeah.
So if there's anything in a show that needs to be cut because it's upsetting somebody, let's cut it.
So I think it's big for you to say with your work, if it's viewed as that today, you don't have a problem.
Cut it. Cut it.
I mean, that's a solution.
The last thing I want to ever do is put any content in a show that's going to upset my audience and make them want to turn off the TV. Why would I ever want to do that?
That makes sense.
Okay.
I want to give you an opportunity to kind of elaborate on something.
Okay.
The thought process from the series is you had the power to just write a joke, and no matter what, it's going on TV. You just had that type of power. Is that true?
That's a great question.
The notion that I had the power to just produce whatever I wanted and have it air is completely false.
Okay.
There were many
Okay.
levels of scrutiny. Okay? We had executives in LA. We had executives in New York.
So two coasts.
Two coasts
Okay.
of
Both
approval. Yes. And by the way, approval at every stage, really.
Okay.
And I'm talking about wardrobe. I'm talking about makeup, sound, sets, dialogue, joke.
Okay, so basically what he's trying to do is he's trying to like blame his whole crew. And I'm not gonna lie, his crew probably was a part of this shit too. Because the wardrobes that they were wearing on Victorious was kind of crazy. I think even the actor who played Jada, what's her name? No, Jade. The actor who plays Jade, she said this year or some recent time, she was like, yeah, I would never wear those clothes at that age. Like, I don't know what the show writers were thinking. Some shit like that, but yeah.
Everything.
Now, when you say approval, these obviously that's a hierarchy, not your colleagues or
right.
people in the room. Okay.
No, not my colleagues. No, these are my bosses.
Oh,
and then
bosses.
And their bosses. And they're approving all of this stuff.
Okay.
Oh, this whole
And we're also
industry is
shooting
like
it
just crazy,
in front
bro.
of all sorts of adults and caregivers and the set teacher and the families. Everybody's watching it. And if anybody had said anything, hey, we don't like that. That's not appropriate. Then it would have been cut out.
Now, I'm gonna push back a little bit
Sure.
because the series painted you in this way that you were just the guy that was doing what he wanted, and people were afraid to confront you about things. So say, just humor me,
Heard
say
that too.
that was the case. What would have been the ultimate way to?
Okay. If nobody on the set, if all of the dozens and dozens of adults that were on the set, if they didn't say anything, if my bosses said, if they insisted, you've got to make a change here, you got to cut that, I had to do it. I had no choice.
Got it. Now this next one,
So he's gonna say the
Kinda
bosses
hit close
are really the reason.
being a new father, I wouldn't be opposed to my child being in the entertainment industry. It doesn't matter what age. Yeah.
Okay.
Seeing some of those on-air dares, seeing it now from where you are now in your life, what do you think of that?
I think that some of the on-air dares went too far. I think they pushed the envelope too far. Not all of them, not most of them, but some did. Nickelodeon wanted to do their version of Fear Factor. At the time we were shooting all that, so I was tasked with doing this
Nah,
on-air
Nickelodeon
dares
was
with all
on some
that cast.
bullshit for
So we
that,
get with the
bro.
writers and we come up with all these ideas, and it's hard to do because we don't have the budget of Fear
Like,
Factor.
kids are
And
really
we can't
like,
put
come on,
kids
bro.
in dangerous situations like the adults are put in. So
Kids.
it was hard to come up with stuff. But we would come up with all these ideas of dares they could do. We would give them to the network, and they would say, tell us the ones that were okay.
Right.
Those are the ones we shot. Those are the ones that aired. At the time, I had no indication that any kid ever had a problem with them. But when I was watching the show over the past 2 nights, I now know that there were kids who did have problems with the on-air dares. And it breaks my heart. And I'm so sorry. I am so sorry to any kid who ever had to do a dare or anything that they didn't want to do or weren't comfortable doing.
That's crazy.
We went out of our way to make sure they were safe and that everything was done properly. But if a kid was scared and didn't want to do it, kids shouldn't have had to do it.
Yeah.
Period, the end.
Right.
And if I had known at the time, I would have changed it on the spot.
I swear I'm chosen. Niggas is wildin', niggas is folding. They wanna know this. Niggas be watching, niggas be glowing. She wanna look at the sun, she wanna come like high. She wanna go to places, she wanna go far. I tell her we gonna make